Elijah.
Hi, Tamayo. And hello, everyone. And we're so glad to have you here with us and to get to invite you into this activation sequence virtual retreat. And we're going to go on a journey in this next 4 months, a deep dive into genius. And I'm so grateful to get to do this with you, Tanmayo, with the dear ally and friend and longtime voyager of the Gene Keys with me. Thank you.
Delightful for me too. It's just such a joy that we get to play together for 4 months. And it
Absolutely.
is playful. I mean, it's all kinds of mysteries and practical magic that will appear and does appear. But there is that joy of coming to know yourself on some deeper level that you get to play with in the world.
100%. And this is, for me, this is this mythical journey, and it's the most practical thing as well as the most magical thing. And if anything, right now at this time of my life, as asking, we all individually and collectively face challenges. And from those challenges, great gifts can emerge. Our genius can emerge, and the world will be nourished by our genius and sanctified by us coming and calming down into our core stability, cultivating this core stability in ourselves. And that's the journey of the activation sequence that I want to, journey with you and with all of our friends together on. And we're going to walk through the activation sequence course to dive into our profiles and really pull out our profiles and pull out our lines and understand these spheres and take them into our lives, into our relationships, into our creativity, and into our challenges, into the heart of what makes us human, which is this great genius being birthed, these gifts that emerge from the shadows, from the challenges.
Yeah, I really love that. And, some of you are aware that we've recently closed the door on 6 months of Venus. And very often when people are new and they come into the Gene Keys and they look at the golden path and, maybe they're deep in something and relating and there's so much about the partner or they want to know how to get on more in the world. So they look for the pearl. But actually, this is the secret magic, I feel, is this activation sequence, is this genius of your 4 prime gifts. This is the pillars. These are the 4 pillars of your sacred tent, your temple. And we hear these words bandied about, oh, my body is my temple. Well, sorry, you can tell that's I'm not that kind of person, but these are pillars of reality, of streams of consciousness that are pouring through us all day, every day. And that chart becomes suddenly this inner journey of noticing, how does this profile work? How is it being expressed through me? Where am I getting stuck in the mud with that shadow and its old patterns of behavior? But what it's really offering us is the real ground, the ground of being, to come into that core purpose so that it then flows through the rest of the golden path, and gives us the stability that we need to open up to that Venus sequence and that pearl. So for me, it is a kind of secret that sometimes we like to skip the step, and go to that next really enticing one. But I just absolutely adore it. So yes, love it.
And that's what's so special about this journey is you can be completely new to the Gene Keys. This could be your first, maybe you've heard about the Gene Keys or you've read some of the book or you've listened to some audios, but something drew you to this page today to just receive this magic. And that's the best kept secret of the Gene Keys, is it draws us into this stream together. And so if you are new, this is kind of an all-in-one package. You are diving straight into your profile. You'll get the step-by-step guidance of the course and the live webinars that Tamayo and I get to do with you, and Q&A sessions, and also community calls, and be in a collective field with others all around the world, also looking inward at their challenges and their gifts and activating this genius together. And so we get to take this journey. And if you are new, this is a fantastic place to start. And if you've been voyaging with us for a while, this is a fantastic place to be. I mean, you've probably enjoyed being with your community and diving into this work, and it never really ends. So I think that's the magic for me, the Ouroboros of this whole work, is the work doesn't end, but it also has real lasting impact and change. And there's many people. I'm really grateful to see that spark in people as we really cultivate resilience, especially in turbulent times. This is light, and it is an adventure, and it's work, and it's real, and it gets to the core essence of some of the challenges and the edges that we're facing. And this place is a place, I want this to be a place of safety. I want this to be a place where we're each on our individual journey, but also connected to the integrity of an organism, of a global community, and a community that's not defined by specific sets of practices, but by an approach to see inward into these challenges, to soften into the gentleness and patience of letting these wounds unwind, and having a profile, having a map, having a language to help us see one another and see ourselves on this journey. If you open a Gene Key and you feel like it's speaking directly from your cells on out, this is a good place to be. And I humbly and lovingly and warmly invite you to come with us on this deep dive.
Yes, and I love that you mentioned the community calls, because when you enter this gate, very often you'll read, and you might have heard Richard say, that this is a journey of self-illumination. But it's not a solo journey all the time. We are mammals, we humans. We like to get together and share. And during this time of COVID, for many people around the world, this lockdown has been an isolating experience. And we can easily go to that place of going, oh, I do it by myself, or I'm a bit shy. I don't want to go on those calls, but I don't know who those people are. Well, they're exactly like you, just another mirror that has found something inside that says, wow, this really speaks to my heart. My soul is answering this call. And when we come together in this collective space, we get to know people from all over the world. And we do hold a very powerful field of safety and real honoring and inviting each other into this place of deep inner commitment and confidentiality. And we've had a lot of feedback, which I'm sure you'll see in some testimonials, of how beautifully these retreats are being held, so that you can really come in with your little tippy toes in the beginning and test the waters and stay wherever you want. There's no pressure. It's your journey. You go as deep as you want to in any moment. And actually, it unfolds naturally for us. We don't have to look for it to unfold. It's like our soul bubble, if you want, is so grateful for us to be shining that light of awareness on our inner world, that all of these treasures start to be revealed. And sometimes they can be challenging. They can really show up some old behaviors that really, they're there as a guest. All these shadows are guests as a springboard to open us up to the gifts and cities that are our true nature. So we get to become friends with them. And in Gene Keys, we use something called the Gene Keys approach, which is contemplation, inquiry, gentleness, and patience. And we give that to ourselves, and we give it to each other. So yes, like Elijah, I hope you hear this call and choose to join us.
Yeah, thanks, Tim Mayo. And wherever you are and whenever you are, this is a global retreat, and we practice our time yoga to stay up late sometimes and get up early sometimes. And also there are replays of definitely of the webinars and the Q&A sessions where you get to share into those recordings ongoing. The community calls are a live thing, and it's an amazing experiment and experience to find the time to come into those calls, to come in with vulnerability and authenticity and just witnessing of your own process, and then being held in that witnessing as well of this collective process. So you'll find all the details below, and our amazing support team and our ambassador hosts who are going to be holding the calls with us. And in the forums and activity feeds, we have our own little budding social network place that you can share your ideas with each other and really just join in on this experiment, this evolving community of like-minded, like-hearted beings that are on this journey too, because it is a solo journey and we're never alone. And I just really want to honor that beautiful parallel of these two journeys, this transformation that we're on. So yeah, welcome. We hope to have you with us.
I like to just add a little bit for those who have traveled with us before, that Elijah and I are going to be a bit more playful in how we approach this time. And we are going to play with your charts. So we are going to play with profiles and charts and hexagrams and lines, and Elijah, as you all know, is brilliant at graphics. So we're going to get these lovely pictures that will help us to understand what it is that we're really looking at. So even if you have participated in the past, we all know there is no such thing as the past. There is only this present moment. And as Elijah said, it never ends. So even when we come to that core stability of landing in that place of purpose, if we're really lucky, we get to take a breath and sit there comfortably. And then the spiral starts again, and suddenly we're looking from a new perspective. So these portals of awareness and these spheres are constantly opening and opening and inviting us into the boundless nature of who we are. And as we're a gift to ourselves, we're also a gift to this collective field in any moment of awareness. So there is also that aspect to it. We do it maybe first of all for ourselves, but then there is something more where there is no me without you. So yes, I hope you'll come and play.
I hope that you feel the magic emanating from my dear friend Tan Mayo, and this is what we get to swim in. And if that's overwhelming and you don't want to learn all those things about hexagrams and lines, the beauty of this is it's a rhythm to take our key, one key a month, and take it deeply and drink it into our lives. And so it can be as simple as tuning into a meditation per month and feeling the rhythm that's happening in your own life. And for those that want to dive deeper, there's a weekly event, either a webinar or a community call, so you can stay, good accountability too, to stay present and not distract or forget. And you can travel and you can join a replay later. There's no right or wrong way. This is your retreat. This is your journey. It's your profile. I love that about this work, is it comes so deeply into that personal experience. So I just wanted to make that clear, that you can join this wherever you are at in that journey, and it will meet you. The transmission, these teachings, they meet us where we are at, and they provide us these doorways, these keys, these portals to that next threshold, that next step.
I really love how you talked about rhythm, because we've had experiences in retreats where participants have said, oh, I'm behind. I haven't listened to the webinar, or I didn't catch up with the recording. You can never be behind. You're exactly in the right moment at any time. And, one of my favorite expressions has to be snuck in here, which is my sweet Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, who says, "A wizard is never late." Yeah.
Mm. Thank you so much. And to this
You,
next adventure.
yes. Thank you, Elijah. I'm looking forward to more.